In Greek mythology, there are tons of great characters who are easily remembered because of their bravery, an unforgettable myth, or an important deed. However, there are other mythological figures who are not always remembered, and we are going to talk about them today. 6 forgotten characters from Greek mythology. Number 1. Diomedes, the man who wounded 2 gods. This is not Diomedes of Thrace, who had mares feed off human flesh, punished by Hercules in his 8th labor. The Diomedes who I'm talking about was the Prince of Argos and one of the bravest Greek heroes of the Trojan War, only behind Achilles. He was so audacious that at any given moment of the famous war, he managed to wound Ares and Aphrodite. The gods were so surprised with the hero's boldness that they went to Zeus just to complain about him. As an act of revenge, Aphrodite turned him into a bird. Number 2. Plutus. Those who find him become wealthy. Plutus is part of the offspring that Demeter had with Ixion and is known as the god of wealth. A very compassionate figure, he was able to travel over land and sea. The interesting thing is that, according to Greek mythology, those who find him become extremely wealthy. One of his myths revealed that he wanted to distribute his wealth only among good people, and Zeus, thinking that it was unfair, took away his vision so that he could no longer distinguish the good people from the bad. Number 3. Pelops, the king of the Peloponnese. This character of Greek mythology was the son of King Tantalum, the one who got one of the worst punishments of Greek mythology, something that we talked about in another video. The legend says that one of the reasons that justified Tantalum's punishment happened when he served his son, Pelops, cut into pieces as a main dish to the gods in a dinner held in his castle. Demeter, being depressed with Persephone's disappearance, was the only one that could accept the offer and ate the boy's shoulder. The other gods, repudiating Tantalum's act, brought Pelops back to life, even more beautiful and stronger than before. His shoulder was replaced with a prosthesis made of ivory by Hephaestus. Pelops later became a great warrior and ruled the southern peninsula of Greece, which later became known as the Peloponnese. Melampus, the clairvoyant who understood the birds. Melampus is yet another forgotten character in Greek mythology. They say that he was the first man to get the powers to make prophecies. But there is some controversy about this. According to the legend, he found an orphan offspring of snakes and decided to raise them. One night, he suddenly woke up, with the snakes licking his ears. After that, Melampus started to understand the language of the birds and insects. He then used that in his favor to make those around believe that he was indeed a prophet. For instance, one day he was abducted and imprisoned in captivity, guarded by sentinels. At night, he heard 2 termites talking, saying that they had already eaten almost the whole of the ceiling of that hut, and that it wouldn't last one day without collapsing. Melampus warned the guards and they agreed to take him away from that place. The next day, when confronted with the shattered hut, they released the so-called clairvoyant, fearing that they would offend the gods. Number 5. Proteus, a creature who foresaw the future. Proteus is a sea deity, brother of Achilles from the mother's side. In other words, both are sons of Tethys. In other versions, in turn, say that he is the eldest son of Poseidon. Like Melampus, he is deeply acknowledged as a prophet, but he was a prophet for real. However, Proteus didn't like to tell what he saw, and so he avoided humans, transforming himself into a sea creature with a frightening appearance. According to the myth, if a man was brave enough to capture him, he would have the right to know everything about his future. Number 6. Circe, the sorceress of animals. Circe was an expert in potions, poisons, and witchcraft. She lived in a castle full of animals, which in fact were her bewitched human victims. Circe had an important role in the Odyssey, trying to turn Ulysses into a pig when Ulysses arrived at her castle in search of his lost seamen. The spell didn't work on him since he was under the enchantment of Hermes. So the Greek hero attacked Circe, who begged for her life, with the condition that she would have to revert the spell practiced against his sailors, lodging them until they had conditions to provide with their trip. Circe obviously accepted it. Do you know other characters in Greek mythology who have been forgotten? I hope you enjoyed the video and see you in the next video.